The fellas are back.
What's good, y'all?
It's been a little bit.
Yeah,
How y'all been?
been an interesting week.
It's been pretty interesting for you. I can't lie.
Yeah, pretty, pretty wild stuff. But no, not gonna talk about that.
Nah.
But
How you been, Icy?
Been better, but still pushing.
Mm-hmm. Did Auburn? Y'all beat? Y'all played? Did y'all play Alabama recently?
We lost to Tennessee, and then we beat
That's what it was. Never mind.
Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, it was one of the maroonish teams or dark red because we played Texas A&M and we got killed. But that's not anything new. We suck. But enough about me being depressed over Georgia basketball. Um, Me and the fellas are about to do an NBA tier list. What's up, Sal? He said, "Hurry up and put the Thunder in S tier, baby." Oh, buddy, excuse me, my fault. I can't read. That's
he
that.
came he
That's that
came for
Georgia
the
education.
thumbnail.
Yeah, that was for the thumbnail. Come on now.
He
You
came
know
for
we're
the
clickbaiting
thumb.
in here. Come on now. No, but we'll go ahead and get started. Here, actually, you know what? While yapping, we had a couple games today. Who I know the Celtics and not Celtics. The Cavs and Knicks played the injury game today.
Yeah,
Um, the 76ers and Mavs. 76ers won that 120 to 116. Celtics won by 947 points versus the Warriors.
yeah, yeah. It was just a beatdown. They didn't
Yeah.
play. The Warriors ran like literally went into a dark alley and did not come out.
The Clippers won 89 to 88 over the Timberwolves. The highly touted Magic and Pistons. Magic blew them out. Raptors beat the Hornets. Knicks beat the Cavs. And Spurs beat the Pacers. And I think, Wemby had 31, 12, and 16. Wait, he had 31, 12, 16, and what else? Because I'm sure it's insane.
He had 6 blocks and a steal.
Good lord, dude.
Yeah,
Dude,
he's
31,
he's gonna be a
12,
problem.
6, 6, and 11 for 17 from the field. A 3 for 4 from 3. That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
All right. I'll quit holding off people for too long. All right.
yeah, man. People say Chet's better though, which is crazy.
That is crazy. Too Big said his goons are on the way. So I guess we gotta take cover.
Yeah,
All
hide
right.
hide your desserts, folks.
Well, I guess the good thing about this is both of our teams come first, so we can go and get this out of the way. But for the first team up, we have the probably championship contending Atlanta Hawks. I mean, that's probably consensus. No.
Yeah, no team can stop the Hawks right now. It's they're holding down the fort till
Oh yeah,
Trae Young comes back.
yeah, man. We're really holding down the top 10 pick for it. It's awesome. I love it. No, but where would you put the Hawks? Because I'm thinking about B or C.
I'm thinking they're a solid C tier. Like I think that with the Hawks, for some reason, the play-in tournament is inevitable.
I agree.
Like that, I think that they can be mid enough to where, like, when Trae Young gets back, they'll probably be one of the last teams standing for like the ninth or the 10th seed, just
Mm.
because the teams below them are just so bad. Even though I think recently, I think they lost to Brooklyn,
Dude, we got killed.
which yeah, that wasn't too good.
Did you watch
But
that game, Icy?
No,
Dude, we got dog.
watching that.
I mean, I'm not expecting you to watch it. I didn't know if you saw like any of it. We got killed,
No, man.
dude. We
It's
got.
tough watching Hawks basketball,
You
bro.
ain't kidding. It's they.
And I'm a Panthers fan saying that. I mean, it's tough.
that's rough.
How many days is it until Panthers football?
Uh, in a couple of minutes, it's going to be 188.
Nice. What's up, Daniel? What's up? Too big said F tier. Come on, too big. Come on, we're better than that. All right, but
I think he might be talking about his own team.
I think
but-
so. Yeah, we'll get to the Hornets in about 2 more teams. But Icy, where would you put the Hawks? Because me and Mac are both saying C tier.
I would honestly probably C. Me personally, I would put them in D tier, but they play. They will be having games where they play to the opponent's level of play, and they be elite teams, and they actually beat them. So they're a mid team, bro.
Yeah, honestly, especially with Trey out, it's even worse than mid. Like it's so hard to watch them. It is so hard.
Yeah,
but also, while we're here, I know it's the first team, but if y'all could please like the stream and subscribe while we're doing this, that would mean so much to me. Thank
much
you so
appreciated.
Much. Yeah, much.
It's free. It's free for those who don't know.
Actually, Icy said he'd pay you if you do it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go Hawks C tier, and then now we got the Boston Celtics. C tier as well.
Yes, you know, of course, C for Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
But so A for Atlanta.
Yeah, okay. A for Atlanta.
Okay.
The A.
Yeah.
Nah, but oh my goodness. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch the game. I was working today, but I think that the Boston Celtics should have S tier all to themselves. And I'll say this, it's because this is the greatest Celtics team that I have ever seen in my life. Like, this team is ridiculous. Like, I don't care what people say, like the Warriors are kind of cooked. They're still like a formidable team. They still have Steph Curry, and they blew them out by 52 points. 52.
Yeah.
They didn't play the Wizards. They didn't play the Pistons. They didn't play the Hornets. They played the Warriors, and they demolished them. Like, this team is doing incredible and historic things. The Celtics have a long history, and today was their third largest margin of victory ever. Like, it is insane. And Brad Stevens should never have to pay for anything in the city of Boston ever again.
No, never. Never. I think I'd buy that guy a coffee.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of unfortunate that they didn't let JT stat pad a little bit, because he was going pretty crazy. Like, he had a very efficient 27 points. I think he only missed 1 3-pointer, which is pretty rare considering that half the time he thinks he's prime Curry. And it gets a little annoying, but no. But also glad to be vindicated that Marcus Smart was holding the team back. That's very good to know. But yeah, no, I just think the Celtics should have S tier all of themselves. But that's just me.
I don't completely disagree with that. How do you feel about that, Icy?
So the Celtics, and I'm not hating. I'm not having them on the S tier, but I will have them in between the S tier and the A tier. And it's a kind of my own tier I like to make up. That is called the allegation tier. Let me explain to you what the allegations tier is, everybody. The Celtics have everything around them. They have JT, JB, a good head coach. They have the role players, but they have the allegation to where, how I like to put it, Philadelphia, and we're going to get to them, they can't get out the second round. I know the C's made it to the finals, but to me, it falls on the shoulders of one player, and that's Jason Tatum. We all know Jason Tatum's a top 10 player in the league, but I feel like he got to find, how I put it, he's got to take that next step. And me and Mac, we talk about the Heat and how Heat be having the Miami Heat be having black magic and everything like that. But over the past couple years, I seen the C's team look dominant, and like today they look really really dominant. I'm gonna just pull back on a little bit, just a little bit,
Bill got 28.
just because playoff time, bro. I've seen this team, and yeah, it's a new. They got new pieces, but I've seen the core of this team crumble just a little bit. But they're in my allegations tier list. They got to beat the allegations, man.
Hmm.
That's just me.
No, I mean I get that, and only time will tell. I would give them more credit because they actually have made it multiple times with. I would say this core. This core's made it multiple times to the ECF, and they actually made it out of the ECF, unlike the 76ers, who have yet to make it out of the second round. So I'm going to give them more credit. And not just after what I watched today, but even going into the season, they were my pick for the finals, and I'm going to stick with that. I think that if they're not the best team, they're 1B, right? So I'm gonna put them in S tier. I think that they're right there with the Nuggets. If you don't have them in the one, I have them as the best team, especially with the addition of KP and how he's played. But I can understand why there would be concerns because I mean there is still that, there's still that air where they haven't, made it fully to the top yet. But I think they will this year. I think they finally conquer that mountain this year.
Yeah, so that's also my thing is that with this team too, the players understand their roles, and I think that was a problem with previous Celtics teams. There wasn't so much of a pecking order. Like this team, I mean the chemistry and honestly the vibes are pretty immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't have our point guard playing hero ball for no reason at all. Like I don't think people quite understood like how detrimental like Marcus Smart was to the Celtics because of the fact that he thought that he was a greater part than what he actually was. Because there is no more a player dribbling up early in the shot clock and just chucking up a three.
It's the Trae Young
Plus,
simulator.
yeah, but I mean, hey, it's Trae. I'll live with Trae Young doing that. Marcus Smart has no right to do that.
That's true.
Also, there was a spacing issue big time, especially with zone defense. And Kristaps Porzingis, you replace basically Rob Williams for KP, and you have the zone stopper.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, if you go look at his individual statistics this year against the Heat, they're unbelievable because they don't have anybody with the size to guard him. But
Okay.
yeah, no, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I probably wouldn't have said this at the beginning of the year. I think if the Celtics play the Heat, I think the Celtics would sweep them. Like honestly, like what is it? Their rookie Jamie Jaquez the third,
Jaime
Jaquez, excuse me. He's averaging 3 points a game against the Celtics.
Mm.
Like I'm not gonna lie, I don't really fear the Devil Magic anymore. But I think we've probably talked about the Celtics for a long time.
Well, I mean they're arguably the best team in the league, so they're gonna get the most. Also, the Thunder just tied it up with the Suns.
They after being up 20, that's pretty embarrassing.
It's 6-27. Well, I mean they don't have D-Book, so it makes sense. But all right, now we get the Brooklyn Nets. We can do this one pretty quick.
Yeah, they're in D tier. They're not quite awful, but they're just a lottery team. They're the island of role players.
Yeah, they did blow out the Hawks though. Did they beat us in the other game? Wait a minute. If they beat us in the other game, I'm instantly moving the Hawks down. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't remember.
We should probably put them lower, just because of management reasons. Just because I don't feel like they have like a plan yet because they could have been stocking up on draft picks and kind of done like what Oklahoma has done and get a couple first rounds or a couple seconds and convert them to first round picks. But I mean, you got Cam Johnson is definitely a starter in this league. What's the other boy name?
So
The other
Mikal
one
Bridges.
17 first
Mikael
round picks.
Bridges.
Yeah.
Definitely a starter in this league.
Mhm.
Probably on the championship squad. Cam Johnson's a bucket. I don't know. He's a scorer. I don't know if he's a starter really, but I think he can be a great six man if he knows his role coming off the bench.
Mhm.
Also the big man as well. Like they got role players over there that can definitely be like key pieces on a championship squad.
Mhm.
Yeah, they just got solid players. Like Dorian Finney-Smith is solid. Cam Johnson's solid. Nick Claxton is a really good defensive anchor, but he's borderline unplayable in the playoffs for the fact that he can't hit free throws.
Yeah.
Lonnie Walker is a really good bench option. Yeah, no, they're just solid. And then I won't talk about Dennis Schroeder.
I don't
Not
blame you.
gonna do it.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me at all. So, for right now, and whenever we start getting more teams into these categories, we can rank them like who we'd put ahead of who and behind who and all that, like in order for said row. I can't think of words right now. All right, so now we have two picks team, the Charlotte Hornets.
Oh, the Charlotte Hornets.
For simply trolling too
uh,
big, I may do the
it's
same.
just
I think they're a D team.
I think they're low end D tier because for the reason that the rookie that Too Big was crying about is the only reason that they're not in F tier.
I mean,
Brandon
they
Miller
are
is really
15
good.
and 46.
That's true. They also don't have their best player.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah. Well, oh, wow! They had Grant Williams playing center. That's pretty crazy.
Ew.
It was on a win streak for a while.
Yeah, they're on a 4-game losing streak right now. To the Wizards are on a 14-game losing streak.
Yeah. Hey, in the words of Kyle Kuzma, just don't be that team.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'll go D. I think if, or not if, but whenever it happens, I think they'd be the back end of the D tier for me. Maybe the second to no, actually, they probably the back end of the D tier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got the Chicago Bulls. Me personally, I'm gonna put them in the same breath as the Hawks, and I've had them in the same breath as the Hawks for about 3-4 years now. I think they're almost identical in the fact that they're kind of stuck, and they can't they're. It's not that they're a bad team, but there's just other teams with better players, and it hasn't worked out how they were trying to rebuild. It just hasn't worked out in their favor, and it's starting to get to a standstill, and they're getting close to maybe losing their best player.
Yeah, they're kind of, they're just mid. They're a solid C tier. But the thing that's sad about the Bulls is they legitimately could have been a good team if Lonzo Ball's knees didn't give out on him.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was fine. I was happy for Lonzo, man. He was finally balling, and then, all that running, all those 40-mile runs that he went on as a kid, caught up to him.
Yeah.
Those are the shoes, man. Big Baller Brand.
Then BBB.
I messed up his knees, man.
I don't think I've heard anyone talk about Big Baller Brand in 6 years.
Good. Respectfully, good. Would you have them in the C tier, Icy?
Yeah, I'll have them C tier. I think it would be like a middle of a pack C tier team.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of remind me of the Nets a little bit with the role players they got. But I mean, yet again, low key I should have them lower tier C team, but just because of the fact that they could have made some trades and just start all over again. But nah, they're middle of the pack to me.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, the Thunder have a 6-point lead right now. That's crazy. All right. Now we have an interesting team. I want to see where y'all are at on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Where y'all at on them?
Cleveland to me, they're a they're a high end B team. Um, I feel like, and this I have a crazy theory that Donovan Mitchell. I feel like he's going to leave them, but I feel like after the All Star break, I feel like he's trying to give them a chance to see like what they got. And I thought they should have won the game today against the Knicks to prove that like they can win without him. But I think Donovan is in a situation to where he's going to have to almost drop 50 or like 40 to kind of like win a series in the playoff when the playoff time come around, just because how they're built.
Mm.
But they got I would almost throw them in my allegation tier list because of how they lost against the Knicks. But some of it, it's like it kind of really relies on the big men. I mean, Allen and Mobley, both like they're hella good. They're defending, they're good. It's just like their grit is going to be challenged this year once again, especially if they play the Knicks.
Mm.
And they have a big role on the defensive side because I mean Garland, he's not a bad defender, but you look at his like stature, my fault. He's not really made to cut out to be a good defender. He could defend at times, but not really. Donovan Mitchell, not really good defender. Oroku, Arbor Legend. Um, he's gonna give you some defense, but offense not really. So it really relies on the big man.
Yeah, I agree. And it does suck for Donovan because he's went from, being on the Jazz to where they had Rudy Gobert, they had a really good defensive big man, but they couldn't guard the perimeter for anything, and he had to drop 50 to even have a chance, and they still ended up blowing a 3-1 lead with him dropping historic numbers along with Jamal Murray, and then to now he's in Cleveland, where to be honest, I haven't watched too many Cavs games, so I don't know how their perimeter defense is, but I'm just gonna assume with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland, running your front backcourt. Yeah,
It's kind of
backcourt.
like
backcourt.
I'm tripping.
Yeah, it's kind of like Conley almost, but
Mm.
like Donovan Mitchell. It's tough for him because he's a combo guard, and like when he was in, like I feel like when he was in Utah, it was like like you gotta ISO run and pick and roll to try to get a bucket, and you gotta be point guard sometimes.
Yep.
And I feel like it's kind of hard for the Cavaliers to kind of do that with Garland on the court because Garland, people really like don't watch his game, but his playmaking skills is up there. Don't get it twisted. Like he is a very good playmaker.
Oh yeah,
And he can hit some tough ass buckets.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like I said, bro. It's like with D Mitch. It's like you have to give him the ball to cook, and it's like he's gonna have to kind of run point guard, and then it's like, all right, that's gonna affect Garland and kind of in a bad way on the offensive side.
I agree. Dang, I know RB's not too happy right now. That's crazy. Suns down 8.
Yep.
Shout out my dog RB though. Nah, but Mac, where would you have him?
Damn, Katie running a gas. But I don't know. I'd have them. Yeah, they're kind of a tricky team to rank, just from the standpoint that, like, on paper they have the names to make a deep playoff run. Ultimately, what holds them back is their spacing because they have two non-shooters at their power forward and center spots. Plus, I mean, honestly, their bench is kind of shaky. I don't know. I think I think they have the high end talent to where they could make a run. So I'm thinking I'd put them in low end A tier, even though the Knicks do kind of own them. But I don't know. I think I would have more faith, sort of, in the Cavs going far than the Knicks, if that makes any sense. Just because,
That makes sense.
well, I guess now it kind of makes more sense because Jalen Brunson went out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have probably been lofted for the Cavs to be in the A tier if they would have won today's game, but them not being able to beat the Knicks without Brunson and Randall. I hope Brunson's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna put them B tier for now. Cause I
Well,
was
no Julius Randle's actually kind of like a benefit for the Knicks, though.
that's true. They'll have 5 people in the court that can dribble both hands.
Yeah.
All right. So now we get the Mavs. I was pretty high on the Mavs, but they've been on they've lost like 4 of their last 5. So I'm probably gonna run into the same situation that I just did with the Cavs, and I'm gonna say B tier. How do y'all feel?
I would agree. I would also put them in B tier. I mean they're a playing team as of today, but I mean when you have like the backcourt that they do, uh, all they need is just to get in and get a favorable matchup, and they could go pretty far. It just kind of all depends on how the role players perform. Like they've had even in their basically losing 4 out of 5, they've had some like pretty good contributions from role players.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that they've just matched up with just almost better teams.
I agree.
So I think they're a solid playoff team. I don't really think they'll go anywhere, but I think just Luka and Kyrie alone just put them in B tier.
Mm. How do you feel, Ice?
I think they're a low tier A team with flaws. I think I can say that. I think they're too good to be a B tier team. But I think they're just like the lower A tier. I think it fits them just right. We already know what Kyrie's capable of. Luca, you already know what he's gonna do, and as like just to echo what Max said, like it really is just like what's the others gonna do. Me and Chan like the moves that they did in the trade deadline, which were needed.
Mm-hmm.
They got depth at big. They got depth at the forwards, and which you're gonna need come playoff time. Um, I think a lot of their stuff is just like like the moments, like Keeley stops and Keeley buckets, bro. I feel like this team can win a playoff series, and then we're gonna see what they do in the next round. But I feel like they're fully capable of winning. It's just how far they're gonna go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, riding the coattail of Luca. I mean, obviously they have other good pieces, but I mean, if Luca turns into Superman, all he's got to do is just get hot and stay hot for a good month. That's all he's got to do. He's capable of it, I think, and he's got Kyrie Irving, so they're gonna be all right. Now we have the Denver Nuggets, the reigning NBA champions. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in S tier, but is anybody against that? I think they're S tier, personally.
They're
I'll say that they're A tier just because they're not as they don't have as much depth as they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that last year they had, and a ton of people didn't want to make them an S tier team last year because of like because of previous seasons. But yeah, no, I mean they're still really good. But I don't know. This could just be biased, but like I don't know when I see a team that's another team that's being compared to like the Kevin Durant Warriors in like a bunch of stats. Like I don't necessarily know. I think I'm being very ambitious, but like I don't know. I think right now like you got to put respect on the champs. Obviously, I mean Jokic is probably gonna win his third MVP in 4 years. But I don't know, man. I just think the Celtics are in a tier of their own.
Hmm.
at this current time.
I don't disagree with that. I'm gonna put respect on Jokic and Murray until they get knocked off. I'm gonna still have them in that top group. I can't take them out unless they just absolutely fell off a cliff, which I don't expect to happen. How do you feel, Icy?
You know,
I'm gonna have them in the S tier, and we don't look at this team. They're really only all-star and superstar is Jokic. But I think Jokic, like, we talk about like in sports, like we talk about X factors for the team, and we talk about like what people need to do. And sometimes when I look at Denver, like when they played the Lakers, bro, Jamal Murray's first 3-point shot was like 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And the game was close, and then Jokic didn't like they went on like a 10-0 run, and Jokic didn't score any points during that run, I believe, or maybe like a bucket. But I feel like he was the most impactful player during that run. He was doing everything and putting people in the right spots for them to succeed. And we always talk about like people elevating people. I think Jokic, like people, like we talk about it with Jokic, but we don't talk about like enough. And I think that's the greatest thing that he can do outside of his skill with passing. Like he can really elevate this team to new heights. And yeah, they lost people, but with Jokic, think about it, like anytime like they need a bucket or anything to stop a run, like just give the switch to Jokic, and he's gonna pin him down and just do a jump hook over them. If you need a three, Jokic can pop. You're trying to get someone else involved, like Jokic is gonna do it. Like you can completely like this Denver's team can completely be dead in the water, and you can start like a 10-0 run with them just off of Jokic, just doing simple stuff. And that's what people like trying to figure out. Like, how can like we simplify the game? When you have a player like that, like it makes it so easy.
I agree.
oh yeah, Jokic is the best player in the NBA.
Yeah.
Hands down, bro.
Yeah. Wimby? No. All right. Now
One
we
day.
have Now we have the highly touted. Gave the Celtics a run for their money earlier in the season. They may be starting to really put it together. The Detroit Pistons.
This is the second easiest F tier of my life.
Yeah, quick F.
F tier.
Yeah, quick F. All right.
Yeah, man. So poor Cade.
Yeah, not too much to talk about that one. Not gonna lie to you. We could actually go ahead and do the other very easy F tier real quick because they are last. Actually, you know what? Just to make fun of them, we're gonna actually save it for last. Because
yeah,
we're gonna save that one for last.
They hardly get talked about anyways, so
that's true. The best for last, save them.
Yeah, of course.
All right, now we have the just got blown out today by 900 million points. The Golden State Warriors.
They're a C team, honestly. Like,
yeah, I say
it's basically, yeah, high end C for sure. Like they're definitely a play-in caliber team. It's basically Curry and a bunch of old people at this point, with some contributions from Kuminga. It's good to see Kuminga kind of blossom. That's been pretty cool. That's been that's been probably the best part about their season, and also a couple of their rookies look pretty good. But it's not enough for them to be like where they're accustomed to being. And a lot of that's got to do with Klay Thompson just stinking. And I don't know, it was kind of sad, honestly, watching him come to the realization in real time that like he's just not a good player anymore.
Yeah.
But no, and I swear, I don't know. It's like a whole like soap opera going on in Golden State right now. Clay's crying. Draymond and Steve Kerr were having a cry in his backyard. Like this team's just kind of a mess,
Did
and
they
Steph Curry is trying to carry.
did they cut to Clay in the Warriors game, and it was whenever the Celtics had just scored their like 40th point in the first quarter, and Clay's just sitting there, and I mean y'all won't be able to see me, but you can on stream, and they cut to him, he's just going dead fit, didn't blink, didn't move. It was a good like three, not it was a good like 20, I mean 15 seconds, just dead straight stare. Yeah, what's up,
Yo,
three
it's
Pete?
crazy. It's crazy because it's like watching an old great boxer or like wrestler come to the realization that they're really old
Mm-hmm.
and they need to stop doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
Become a family man.
yeah, you ain't lying. Three Pete said, "Where's Icy?" No, but
Jesus.
is that you got them in the same place actually, or you got them somewhere different? The Warriors.
Matt, where'd you put him?
Warriors, I put them in C tier.
C tier. Yeah. Their C tier team. It's just what it is, man. It's like they just getting old. I think Clay, like he came to realization. I think they're better than the Hawks in the Chicago. They're
Thank you
like
for the
a
sub, three Pete.
they're like an upper tier C team. It's just like I everybody see it, bro. Like
Yeah,
it's so funny. It's like
Yeah.
the only people that didn't see this coming was Warriors fans, and they were just being delusional because they thought Curry was going to like carry.
what you mean? Chris
And
Paul
I'm
coming
like-
to save him? What you mean?
Yeah, Chris
Like-
Paul.
And
He's
this
silly.
is why, like, I kind of like when I talk to Warriors fans and they talk about like the whole like, oh, Poole isn't a winning player. Like I tell them, I'm like, yo, y'all gonna need Poole because y'all don't have nobody explosive. Like Poole, like all right, like this year the Wizards, bro, like yeah, it looks really bad. But it's like you having CP3 who's constantly get injured. He's your backup point guard. And then when Curry don't get it going, bro, you're going to need somebody with his type of play style, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Jordan Poole has. That's
Yeah,
his, like
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, what were you saying?
Oh no, I was gonna say I heard, I forget where I heard this, but somebody made a point on a video that that Jordan Poole is the type of player to where you don't really he's way better on a contender than he is having his own team. Like he's pretty much perfect for the role of like a six man on a championship team. Which and sometimes to come fill in for like an injury. Like that's kind of who Jordan Poole is. Washington and pretty much everybody else kind of assumed that he was just gonna have his own team because of that 2022 run. And so yeah, Jordan Poole kind of fooled a lot of people into thinking what's the word? What am I trying to say? He fugazied a lot of people and bamboozled, let a monk run astray.
I think
Flat
I know
out
what
to
the
sea.
problem is. I mean, I just don't think there's enough baddies in DC that are showing up to the games.
I would disagree.
I mean, showing up to the games.
Oh
Not that there's not,
Yeah,
any, not that there's
no,
not
but
any baddies.
no, but Ruby Rose showed up to the game and he still didn't care.
Well, that's tough. That's tough. She still have a. She still got a bald head like Jordan.
Jesus. I just think that the Warriors just went about stuff in the wrong way. Yeah, they did the right thing of listening to Curry, but like they listened to the superstar, but it's like like, come on, bro. Like, it's just not the same.
Mhm.
The vibes ain't there. The personnel ain't there to really like go on the run. I mean, yeah, like everybody kind of get in an illusion a little bit. Like when they see like Curry, like, oh, he goes crazy. Like, oh yeah, this team is so back, shit like that. When everything's clicking, but it's like the reality, bro, sets in and be like, bro, like you just can't compete. And like even if like let's just say like I think like there's two teams. Really, I could probably say three teams right now in the East who I think that would just
Hey man, while
gentleman
y'all here,
sweep them if they go
sub
if
and
they
like
like
to the
played in the
stream, please.
finals.
Thank you so
Dude, I
much. I
think
do
what the
appreciate it. If
Celtics
you
are
do,
probably
it
gonna
is
either
free. I
sweep
mean,
or gentlemen sweep them. Milwaukee, I can see that series going to six maybe because of defensive purposes, but I feel like they're beating them, and even like the Sixers, if they wind up in the finals, they're cooking the Warriors.
hmm.
So it's just time. They should have like once your team's president left, like y'all like people should have known, bro. It's like, yo, let's go ahead and start trading these people and try to fool somebody to get some picks. But now it's like the whole league knows is
Appreciate you,
like,
3P.
bro, they're invaluable goods now.
Hmm. Yeah, it it has kind of. I mean, uh, to be unbiased, it's you know it sucked watching a team go from being on top to going to the bottom because like you always want to see pinnacle basketball, but it to be unbiased, it's been great. Can't lie, but now we have the Houston Rockets, H Town, Travis Scott.
They have a horny man at head coach.
What y'all got?
They
Uh,
they're upper D tier
yeah,
D tier team.
upper D tier for sure. I could
Especially with
probably
Udoka.
uh,
Huh?
honestly, I'd hear a case for like low C, but like they have Jalen Green. They have
So
Jalen Green.
would y'all
Not
put
that good.
them above the Nets and Hornets?
I think they're definitely better than the Hornets.
I agree.
I think them and the Nets are pretty. I don't know. They're in generally like sort of the same range.
Hmm.
I think the Rockets are slightly better, but they're kind of in that. I think they're definitely in that like lottery team tier, of course.
Yeah.
That's what their record
I think
says they are.
they're a year or two removed, just especially with Whitmore and Sengun, and then I'm forgetting one other part, Jabari Smith. I don't know how he's been playing. I haven't seen his stats. I haven't watched a Rockets game this year, but just knowing from what I saw in high school, I know how good he is. So that man used to cook us yearly. It's crazy. This man went and won a gold medal in Brazil with the 15 and under team, and then came back
Yeah.
and dropped 30 on us at halftime. By halftime, it's crazy. But I see where you got the Rockets.
What'd you say?
Where do you have the Rockets?
I said they're a higher
did
D
you?
tier.
Okay,
D tier
you did.
team. Yeah.
Tripping. All right, that's everything on the Rockets. There's not too much to talk about with them. All right, now we have a interesting team. Score a lot, give up a lot. The Indiana Pacers.
Honestly, they're a low right now, low end B tier.
That's exactly where I had them hovered. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, because like so I understand why you trade for Pascal Siakam, but I don't know why they gave away Buddy Hield. That to me, that just didn't make sense because you basically did sort of like an all-in move to get your second star to pair with Halliburton, and then you trade away your best three-point shooter
Hmm.
in the three-point shooting era. Like it was an insane move, and they kind of they haven't been the same team since.
What's their? What have they gone? They're 5-5 in their last 10. So yeah. Did you say? Where'd you have Micey? Or where would you have them? Me,
I have
We both said low B.
What'd you say?
Low B tier.
Oh, I have a mid B tier. I know they haven't done so well as of late. They can, they've shown like some playoff teams that they give them trouble. But I feel like it all starts at the defense, and they're not gonna win anything without sacrificing on defense. Their offense though, shit, if they really wanted to, they could crank it up. Who was their head coach? I know he was from he did start at the Pacers when he went to the Mavericks.
It's
I can't think of his name.
Rick Carlisle.
Yep.
Yeah, Rick Carlisle.
Rick Carlisle. I know when he was with Dallas. I think they at one point during that season, I think either the second to last season or last season he was there. They had like the highest offensive net rating, and like this team, this Indiana team can really do it, but they just gotta give up on sacrifice on defense, man.
Yep. Shout out to Halliburton too, because he streams. So shout out to him. Or well,
Yeah.
It's the Halliburton Bros. I don't know if it's always him, but it pops up from time to time.
Bro put up a bad stinker his last game though.
Yeah, I have
zero
him on
zero
my
points
fantasy
is
team.
rough.
Yeah, I know. I chose that game too. I think I chose that game. Dude, he was 0 for 7 from the field, 0 for 6 from 3. He was he had a plus minus of a negative 40. Like, what dog? Like Curry today. I think it was today, or it was it was today. He had 4 points. Right? I could be tripping. Wait, let me not trip while I'm yapping. I'm throwing up right now. No, but there was a game. It was Curry had like 4 points at halftime and then didn't score in the second half.
Here comes the bread guy.
And
Don't you ever get sick of bread? How dare you?
Okay, I hate ads on this stupid website.
Yeah, damn. Free advertising. Damn.
For real, that's what I'm saying. No, but we'll go ahead and move on. All right, we got the Clippers now. The LA Clippers. I think I'm gonna have them somewhere in the A tier. To be completely unbiased.
Yeah, I would agree. I think that they're definitely in the A tier. They definitely have a star power. They got good depth. I think. I always thought that the James Harden move was great for them. Gave them the playmaking point guard that they needed to really get that offense in high gear. For them, of course, I mean, it always comes down to the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, they're definitely championship contenders. That's for sure. Can they beat the Nuggets? Maybe. I don't really know. I mean, they got the names to do it, but I guess we'll see what come playoff time what Paul George and James Harden do.
This man had 31 boards.
Even though Paul George falls off way harder in the playoffs than James Harden.
Yeah, I agree. Not to stop the whole conversation. Yusuf Nurkic had 31 rebounds tonight.
Damn.
Yeah, he was working.
My God, he had 14 and 31. Anyways, I see. Where would you have the Clippers?
They will be in between the S and A tier, the allegations tier. The Clippers, on paper and even on the court, have no flaws at all. They have their front court depth. They have big man depth. I say him death.
R.I.P.
Death. Jesus Christ.
R.I.P.
They got the forwards and they got the guards all down pat, no matter what. It's just like what I said about the Celtics, man. It's just, are you going to execute down when it comes to playoff time, man? That's the only real question. We know Kawhi always going to show up, barring any injury. Last year we saw Russell Westbrook. He showed up for a couple of games. He showed up. PG gets hated a lot. Really because of his like playoff play in the last couple of playoffs. But at times I think he is the best Clipper on the floor. Um, if James Harden fit into the role. Um, yeah, it's just really and also you kind of have worries about what Ty Lue is doing. I know he sticks to his rotations, but sometimes like when it's a clear like mismatch on the court, he sometimes leaves that mismatch out for like a whole quarter, and teams would just go attack that. But yeah, they're right there with the Celtics in my eyes. I think the Celtics are obviously to me just a better team. But if you tell me in the West, like any like if you match up the Clippers with anybody in the first round or second round series, they will all be great matchups to watch. In my point of view. Plus, I think they have the best shot at beating the Celtics. I mean, not beating the Celtics, beating the Nuggets out the West.
I can see that. There is another team that we'll talk about in a little bit that I think would have just as much, maybe if not better, possible success against the Nuggets to be as in the middle as possible in that. But yeah, we all gave our spill on the Clippers. All right, now we have the GOAT. Bah. Got the Lakers. So man, it hurts. It hurts because I'm a secondary Lakers fan. Love LeBron, but I'm God, it sucks, man. I'm in the middle of C and I mean I want to say B to be biased. I'm insanely biased. They're not B tier. They're not B. They're C. It sucks. It hurts. It hurts, but they're C tier.
Yeah, they're in the higher end C tier, honestly, and it's basically because LeBron keeps doing LeBron things, and Anthony Davis has been relatively healthy for Anthony Davis. It's just again, I don't know why. I don't know why the Lakers make it so difficult on themselves to like build a competent roster around LeBron and AD. Like it should not be this
I'm
hard.
putting the Hawks in S tier.
Albeit they've dealt with a ton of injuries, but I mean, it's kind of Rob Pelinka's kind of handcuffing. He's kind of been handcuffing himself since post bubble. Like it, it's honestly like I hate the Lakers, but it's pretty frustrating to watch. And Mr. Hands in his pockets, Darvin Ham.
I think that bump on his head takes some of his like mental, takes some of the cogs that would normally turn in the normal brain, just takes them out. Something's going on. I don't know what it is. Something's happening. Respect.
Yeah, it's crazy that I don't know if anyone's shown him the numbers, but they actually have a really good starting five when they put in D'Lo and Austin Reeves. Like it's really good, and they should probably stop giving Cam Reddish minutes.
Yeah, as a Cam fan believer, always will be. Don't care what happens.
Cam actually been playing good, bro.
He's been good, but my bad. Keep
going. The problem is you can't just like on Saturday, bro. D'Lo is probably playing the best games against the Nuggets in recent memory, and you take them out there, and then I think the lineup was Austin Rivers, Dinwiddie, Cam Reddish, LeBron, and AD.
Yeah.
And the other guard and Dinwiddie, he's not doing anything. Put D'Lo back in the game. You're gonna have to have Cam out there for defensive purposes because you're gonna have to have someone guard Murray. AR is not a good defender. Just point blank and simple, bro. But I mean, if Vandal comes back, that's gonna be positive. But I view the Lakers as I don't want to say they're an A T air. I think they're like a B tier team, to be honest. But at times they could be A, just because of LeBron and AD's presence. It's just there's no way as a head coach, you just time and time again, you just like sell the team,
Yeah.
and that's really it. I mean, I just can't unsee it, bro. It's like you're like the team is like the team that swept y'all last year. You're neck and neck with them, and then you let them go on a 10-0 run without calling a timeout in the later parts of the fourth quarter. It's just bad coaching to me.
That Aaron
And then
Gordon 3 was. You
Like
know what
he
I'm talking about.
falls in love with like players like Prince, TP. The season before that, it was a small guard thing. Like I just don't know. Like, and the sad thing is, it's just wasting LeBron's time, and eventually we're gonna have the conversation about AD's time. Just wasting their time, bro.
Yeah. It sucks.
So
I think that they're.
sad. But
What were you saying? My bad.
now the last point I will say is outside of the Nuggets basically owning them, I do still think that the Lakers can probably beat anybody in the West in a series. They
That's
can
what
beat
I was
the Clippers. I think they're gonna get Clippers might give them a hard time, but I think they still beat them in the series. Also the Suns too. Warriors. They're cooked. Now it's interesting between like not the Hornets. The Timberwolves and Oklahoma City. They're all good teams, but it's just like it's Bron and AD. Like we saw in the tournament, in season tournament, bro. This team is not a season team, it's more of a tournament style team. And I always got my money on Bron and AD.
I agree. That's like there's a, for example of what I'm about to say, like say the Cavs and the who would I say is another team like this? The Mavericks. I think that we have them in low A, but I was teetering between high B and low A, and if I had them low B, this would work even more. But I think that the Lakers have the potential to, like you're saying, they could beat possibly almost anyone in the West in the playoffs because of who they have on their roster, and if they played to the top of their game, then some crazy things may happen. But at the same time, we're having to call it how we see it right now. So I can't put them anything higher than definitely the B tier. But I'm gonna put them at the top team in the C tier for now. But they can play higher, obviously. So you have the greatest player of all time. You can go far. What's up, Gilski? He said the Celtics are winning the whole thing. That was my preseason pick. So I agree with you.
Yes, sir.
And then he said Lakers solid C tier. Yeah, I agree. For right now, that's where I'm gonna have to put them. All right, now we have the. I'm not gonna make no jokes. We got the Memphis Grizzlies. I ain't gonna make no jokes.
I mean D tier.
Yeah.
They've been injured even before the season even started. They lost Steven Adams. Jaws dumb suspension. They've just kind of been a mess. It's kind of crazy to think how far they fell off from like just 2 years ago. They were looking like the next thing in the West, and then all of a sudden they're injured and they got a bunch of question marks.
Yeah, I mean it sucks whenever you lose your best player, Dylan Brooks. So it's hard to come back from that.
That's true.
Icy, where would you have? Oh, my fault.
No, the Rough Rider.
Hey man, I mean he takes over the court, makes it his own. I mean, he does it all.
I have him D tier too. It's just one of them
Which
years you just chalk it up to the game, bro.
Wait,
Which
you
tier?
got him in B tier?
D D D
Oh,
D.
oh,
Oh, I
oh.
think you said B tier. I was like,
Nah,
whoa,
Shout out Vikings
ambition.
Dynasty.
nah,
Yeah,
they're in D tier. It's just a year. You know, you got to chalk it up to the game. Dog came back. He was looking good. Then he got injured, out for the season, basically. Um, Another injury with their shooting guard. I can't think of his name. I'm bad with names. Um, JJ. I would say this year for the Grizzlies, I would have liked to see JJ. Triple J, my fault. Like, kind of get better almost. Like, he won Defensive Player of the Year last year, right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He was defensive
Yeah.
player of the year.
And I was like, maybe like he could show something. Maybe like he would show some type of growth to where it's like next year, like it could have been like, okay, this version of Triple J with the gang, like maybe like he'd be really a threat type shit. But that's the only thing. Like I wish he could have gotten better. I don't really see him getting like I didn't see him doing anything this season. So
Yeah, I haven't watched too many Grizzlies games
Y-
to even give
yeah,
like a real.
I think he kind of. I
Spiel.
think he kind of. At this point, I think he kind of is what he is. He's an elite defender and like not the best offensive player.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I guess for them, when everyone is healthy, I mean that's fine. He can be their defensive anchor. I mean, his shooting does, from looking at his splits, his shooting is kind of getting better, but that also could just be a part of like nobody else is there, so he's the only one taking the shots.
Hmm.
yeah, and it's also hard for like power forwards and centers like us. If you don't have that
Did you see me snipe that ad?
skill
I
set,
know
it's
y'all
kind of
saw
hard
that.
to
I
get
know
your
you
own
saw
shot.
that. Come on now. Come on now. I'm him. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. All right, I was pulling up his stats for the season, but we talked about the Grizzlies enough. All right. Also, I put it in the D tier. I named it the Vikings Dynasty tier. So, shout out to D. All right. Now
Shout out
we
D.
have Mac's favorite team, the Miami Heat.
So, uh, honestly, they're so throughout the regular season, there's no indication that they should be in this tier, but I will put them in low A tier simply because I think that they deserve their respect come May. Eric Spoelstra is gonna have another human sacrifice right before either the play-in tournament or their first round series. Uh, yeah, no, I think as long as they got that core, and more importantly, as long as they have that head coach, like they should pretty much always be in contention, barring any kind of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just doing it off reputation, just so just in case, because I don't think they're really gonna go that far, but they're always a tough team to kind of gauge.
Yeah, and you brought up a good point about them playing in May. The fact that this is a playoff tier list, I'm gonna move the Lakers up to the lowest B spot, simply for the fact of, to Icy's point, I think they'll be better in the playoffs. So I'm gonna make an executive decision and put them in low B. But that's just wanted to say that because I did it on stream. But Icy, where would you have the Heat? I'm interested to see where you'd have them.
Who?
The Miami Heat.
Heat. Oh, Heat. I'm gonna say B.
Like high B, low B.
Yeah. Yeah, it's with the Black Magic. They damn near a low A tier team, but with this Heat team, yeah, it's just I think they're middle pack B team. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
If somehow, some way, Eric Spoelstra and the boys, they're going to get 100% out of their players when it comes playoff time.
Mhm. I agree with both of y'all. I think that they can be low A tier whenever it comes to the playoffs because of how they turn it up. I mean, if you want to compare them to another team, they're kind of like the Phillies. They just turn it on whenever they need to. And I also agree with Icy. I think that they're in the B tier. I would have them high B around the same place as the Cavs because I think that they can. I think they have the potential to elevate their game. So I'm gonna stick them right beside the Cavs, and then, but then in
Yeah, they're
me
just
saying, what were you saying?
they're just such a weird team. Like they should easily be like a B tier team.
Yeah,
Like all evidence points to them being a B tier team. It's just indescribable what happens sometimes
mm-hmm.
with this team. Like it's insane.
They're like Auburn. Just crazy stuff happens. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Just happens. All right.
So, but it's like they're playing in Jordan hair every match.
Yeah,
Yes.
they have a dude named Jordan Hare. All right. The Milwaukee Bucks. Dame Tom. Giannis Tom. That doesn't even sound right. But
Honest time. It's
that
Giannis
sounds
time.
disgusting. Yeah. All right. Where would y'all put the Milwaukee Bucks?
Just oh my god, just for their talent, I have to put them in A tier. But damn, man, it's hard to put the Nuggets and the Bucks in like at least for me in like comparable tiers because the Nuggets are so clearly better
Hmm.
because Milwaukee is food on the perimeter and their coach is Doc Rivers and Damian Lillard hates being in Milwaukee. So I don't know, they're one of those teams to where they're a higher seed, but honestly, if they play the Miami Heat, I think the Heat are going to beat them again in a first round matchup.
I could see it. I could see it
Like
happening.
like Eric Spoelstra versus Doc Rivers is like one of the biggest mismatches potentially in playoff history.
Wimby versus Trey. I agree.
Yeah, like come on. Yeah, they're supposed to go up against Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and their defense is like Pat Connaughton. I mean, are we serious? And I tried to bring this up,
The exciting
like
whites.
er, early in the season when everyone was like, "Oh, like nobody's gonna stop Giannis and Dame." I'm like, dude, look at their perimeter defense. They have none. Dame was never a good defender, and he's certainly not going to be a good defender in his mid 30s.
Yeah.
Uh, I mean, Giannis can only do so much, and Brook Lopez is a statue. I mean, re- he's restricted to only the paint because if he comes outside of the paint, it's over. Like, doesn't really matter the size as long as they're younger. They're just gonna go quick, just go right by him to the basket.
Yeah, I mean, 2021, Brook Lopez was the second greatest player of all time, only behind 2021 Eastern Conference Finals Chris Middleton. So
Chris Middleton.
it makes
Yeah,
sense.
and that's another guy. Chris Middleton is basically aged in dog years ever since getting injured in the playoffs 2 years ago. Like he's not nearly the player in general. He's kind of going through the Clay Thompson thing
Yeah.
but I don't think he realizes that he's just not what he used to be.
Yeah. Well, they're
Uh,
also not in a position where they can move him to the bench and then, well, I mean, they are a better team. Obviously, they have better players, but what I mean is like they need him for their goals. They need him to be in the starting lineup and produce.
yeah,
So
they need him to be basically their third star on offense, and to give them quality defense.
no.
And he just physically can't do it. Like he's been injured too many times.
Yeah. What about you? I see where you got the Bucks.
Bucks are A tier team. They're a mid A tier team. Um, Offensively, they're going to be in trouble. Doc Rivers coaching them. It's funny because they were already a bad defensive team, and Doc made them slightly better, but the adjustments that he made was basically doubling the like pick and roll and cutting off the gaps, and that's like according to like NBA geniuses, like that's very minor
Mhm.
adjustments.
Well,
So
I mean that fits his description for what he's been for the past, I mean, X amount of years, right? I mean, barely any adjustments ever.
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I know Giannis is going to show up. Aim is going to show up. It's going to be hard for anybody to stop Giannis and Dame.
Yep.
It's just the defense, bro.
Hmm.
Like, that's all I see, bro. And like Dog gotta realize, bro, like you can't keep like just chilling being like mediocre when it comes to the playoffs. Like you gotta like get the narrative off your back, bro. Just as a man in general. But I mean, they're
It's
very. I mean, at the end of the day, though, they're very capable of just like coming out the East too. Like they have a team like they can match up. I mean, I think matchup wise, I think Boston has them, but it's like they can beat Boston, they can beat the Sixers, they can beat Miami. It's just like they just have to get it together, and the decision making got to be on point.
so to me, they are the equivalent of uh so it's kind of for opposite reasons. They're almost the equivalent this year of, you guys remember the 2018-19 Celtics, where the team was so talented and they're like, don't worry, like they'll turn it around. Like
Yeah.
they'll turn it around. And they said that for months, and then they got gentlemen swept in the second round.
Hmm.
They're like, oh, I guess they really didn't turn it around.
Hmm.
So I think, I don't know, like the names kind of make sense. Also, Dame's kind of been bad from three recently. Like at one point, he was shooting around 30% from three, which is crazy. But no, I don't know. I just think with the Bucks, what you see is what you get, and they're a talented yet they have a very talented top two, but they're just such a flawed team that and Doc Rivers just compounds that. And the fact that Doc Rivers was like, wait, why did I get this job? When he
Yeah, that was a
when
saying that is crazy. Just to point that
yeah,
out, that is. I
ju-
don't know why I got
so
the job. Like what?
they are desperately failing the vibe check, like
Yeah,
desperately failing that.
yeah. Off of pure vibes, they're like a C team. So,
Yeah.
all right. So enough about the Bucks. Uh, Shout out to my man, Georgia legend, Minnesota Timberwolves own Anthony Edwards. Where do y'all have the Minnesota Timberwolves? Because I have them in the A tier.
I'd say they're easily an A tier. They're obviously like below the Nuggets, but so Chan, I'm assuming that you think that the T Wolves probably have the best shot at dethroning the Nuggets,
Yes, that
and
was the team I was
I
talking
would
about earlier.
agree.
Yeah, I think that
Uh,
defensively they have the best chance easily.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that I was all in on the Rudy Gobert trade when it first happened. It just kind of made a ton of sense from the standpoint that pretty much everyone else in their starting five is a shooter, and then they also play good defense, and then you have one of the best defensive anchors of his era, Rudy Gobert,
Three-time
who
DPOY.
who kind of gets a bad rap because of what happened in Utah, which honestly wasn't really his fault. When you have guys like Joe Ingles and Donovan Mitchell on the perimeter trying to play defense, I mean, you're gonna get cooked.
They had Rudy out there like
It's
this.
good.
Well, y'all can't
They
see
had
it, but
so I'll defend Rudy Gobert in the sense of like you guys remember they were so bad at the perimeter when they were playing the Warriors that one series that they had to have Rudy Gobert go outside the perimeter to try to guard Steph Curry one on one.
yeah.
That's a fireable offense.
Watching the Clippers run straight up a pick and roll to get Rudy on the perimeter, and then them spamming that like it's 2K for about 5 straight minutes was honestly the saddest thing I've ever seen. He couldn't do anything. It didn't matter who it was.
Also, in regards to shout out to my IRL friend Chris, diehard T Wolves fan.
Shout out,
But
Chris.
it's hey, listen, they haven't had a lot of good times in Minnesota as far as basketball is concerned. So yeah, no, I think the T Wolves should be gearing up for a lengthy playoff run. I think they can definitely make the Western Conference Finals.
I agree.
It just kind of all depends on like where they face Denver.
I agree.
I think they have I feel like you have to get the 1 seed if you're either OKC or the T Wolves because if you get Denver in that second round series, I don't know. I don't necessarily know if either team is quite equipped to beat them, but I think with the way that Minnesota played them, I know it was what are they? They got gentlemen swept, right? Or did they get swept in the first round against Denver last year?
I think they got gentlemen's. I think they were the only. Were they the only team to beat the Nuggets in a game?
No, because the
No.
Heat. I think the Heat.
Oh, the Heat won. The Heat
beat
won.
them.
The Heat won.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but and then the Suns won a couple games off them. But no,
Oh, yeah,
but
they beat the Suns. I'm sure.
every game was very close. Like it kind of could have went either way.
Hmm.
So I think that you know the fact that they finally got that chemistry going. I think that I for me they're the second deadliest team in the West, outside of Denver, of course.
Hmm. I mean, they got the future face of the league, Anthony Edwards. But I see. Where do you have them? Where would you put the T Wolves?
They're definitely an A tier. Um, my problem with them is they have elite defense, but tell me on who on that team is going to score on offense outside of Anthony Edwards and Cat.
I had Anthony Edwards ready so fast. I had my hand raised.
Who's gonna, yeah, you were honestly that's a good point. I think well actually Mike Conley kind of had a stinker, but Mike Conley could come in and give some offense. Rudy
Mike
Gobert in the
Conley,
paint is pretty good.
nah, bro. It is. I respectfully disagree because I mean I like I think Jaden Daniels. I think he's underrated offensively. People give him credit. He should low key be defensive player of the year, just
Oh, he's
because of what.
insane.
Yeah, like he's really insane. A lot of people don't talk about him as much, but his offensive game is overrated. I'm underrated. My fault. But I just don't like. A couple years back, they traded D'Lo just because it was like, oh, like we have too many ball handlers on the court and stuff like that. But now, like they kind of run into a problem to where it's like, all right, playoff time is gonna be half court, and maybe the defense can become their offense. But when it comes to like when there's no fast breaks on anything, Ant and Cat is gonna be under a lot of pressure, and it's gonna be like I can see them if they don't find a plan. I can really see them like having 30 shots each, especially Ant. and it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be some nasty numbers, but I
Yeah.
feel like they can put up nasty numbers and win games just because of their defense. But they need to find a balance and fast because there's some I know like we got I got a couple Minnesota fans as my mutuals and my friends, but they just talk about the defense and they talk about how great Ant is and like what Cat's doing. Um, they don't talk about anybody else and really the offense, and that's my biggest problem with them. I have them in the middle of A tier team.
Yeah, that's what. Yep, that's exactly where I
Oh
put
yeah,
him.
yeah, for sure. I think honestly a bigger problem I think for me besides finding that third option is Cat always being in foul trouble. Like eh, I don't
Oh,
know what's
Gobert
going on.
too.
Oh yeah, Gobert too, but specifically with Cat because he is so valuable on offense, and I get it, he's a pretty good defender, but it's crazy that he hasn't figured out how to stop fouling so much. Because every big game you see him in, he's got about 5 fouls by the third quarter. Like it's ridiculous.
That is true. All right, now we have a interesting team to say the least. Been interesting for a couple years now. Feel like they should be higher than where they are, but injuries have kind of plagued them. The New Orleans Pelicans.
Pelicans easily a high tier B tier team. Yeah, that's where I would put them. They're sneaky good. Their problem is just consistency.
Hmm.
Very yeah. Bi is he has a skill set of he can Bi can really be their best player on their team at nights. Out he just gotta be like he's too laid back. You look at Bi, it look like bro, like you smoke weed every day and you chill. And
Yeah,
I know like in the summertime, like people was like, "Oh, like Bi is the best player on this team," and then people was like clowning, was like, "Come on, bro, Bi isn't the best player on the team. Look at Ant." And but people were saying that because Bi has the skill set. Bi can get you 35. He did it in the last playoff series. He was in. Like, there was times where he would just erupt for 30 or 35 in big moments. He just gotta just be consistent. Zion, just be consistent. See, CJ, be consistent, bro. That's it. That's all I got for them.
Hmm. I agree. I think that they, like you said, I think that they can turn it on. It's just a matter of will they be healthy and will they show up? It's kind of like the same problem that the Lakers have. It's just like, will you play to your full potential when you need to? Like only time can tell all of that, but you know, are you going to turn it on like how the Heat do? We'll see.
yeah, they are the most quiet 5 seed in NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, I think we just got to come to the realization that they'll simply never be healthy, and they, as promising of a future as it looked like they had not too long ago, that's just kind of all it was just potential. Like I don't know, I kind of get tired of talking about the Pelicans when they're ever rarely brought up, and it's just for the fact that like I don't know, it just feels like so much wasted potential.
Mm-hmm.
Like all these years of like really talented players, like I mean, it's unfortunate because Herb Jones is a hell of a player, and it's unfortunate that not more people like don't know, like more people don't really know who he is.
Mm-hmm. He's a future
Like
hawk.
like they've got dudes, but they've just never been able to piece it together because part of that is because I don't know Zion. It was probably the worst place for him to go, honestly.
Oh,
For
easily, easily.
oh man, the Cajun cooking got him.
I mean, I get
Got
it.
him thinking
I
different.
understand. I get it.
Yeah,
That food's good. He's good.
It's kind of crazy that like we're talking about, I mean the Lakers are what, the ninth seed. We're talking about, no, I'm sorry, a 10th seed. We're talking about a 10th seed being, a scarier matchup in the playoffs than a 5th seed.
It is crazy. I mean, the thing about them being the 5 seed is, I mean, shout out to them for being the 5 seed for sure.
Yeah,
The thing is, they're only 3.5 games ahead of the Lakers, who are the 10th seed, which is crazy to think about.
yeah, it really is.
Because like in the East, the 5 seed is that 9 games ahead.
5 seeds, yeah.
All right. Now we have the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks. Where are we putting the New York Knicks?
I think I think before tonight, I put them in. I mean, if the Cavs are in low A tier, I think they're also in sort of the lower echelon of A tier. But with Jalen Brunson getting hurt, they're B tier. Just for, I mean, it's kind of like the Pelicans, to where like they're hurt, they got to get healthy. And I don't know. And plus, I mean, Julius Randle, still a huge concern in the playoffs. Like I feel like you can't go very far at all with Julius Randle being your number 2 option come playoff time.
I agree. What about you, Isaac?
Knicks, I got their lower A tier team. I think I had Cleveland like in a B tier. I want to say
I did too.
But I think they proven time and time again that they can beat the team. They just, I mean, to be honest, I know like the Randall shit, like yeah, that's a big problem. But even if like Randall having a stinker, they have multiple lineups they can go to where they can compete against the best of the East. I think Mitchell's gonna come back probably like right before playoff time, so that's good. But Pressure's been doing a solid job. I mean, Brunson, we're gonna see how long Brunson's gonna be out for. But I mean, Josh Hart, I mean, this is crazy. Josh Hart had 19 rebounds today. The Cleveland front court between Allen and Mobley had 20 together.
Damn.
Like you got like the Knicks are going to give you 48 minutes of hell, and they can do that because they have a war criminal a head coach.
Yeah.
Tibbs is a full out bro. I want people to go back and look at the 2008 Celtics team and look who's on that bench. I want people to go back and look at that 2010, 11, 12 Bulls teams. Look who was coaching. Tibbs is like Eric Spoelstra in the group. He's going to get 100% out of the players. But Tibbs doing it in a way to where it's so sick, you want to slap the man. But they get you the dub, though. So you just can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, honestly, it might work to their advantage if some of their better players are out until the playoffs, because Tibbs will play them all 48 minutes. It doesn't matter how much they're up by, how much they're down by. You're gonna be playing the full game if Tom Thibodeau is your head coach.
Yeah,
but
how long is the game? 48 minutes? Yeah, they're playing 50. It's crazy.
It's they kind of the Knicks kind of remind me sort of like those certainly without the amount of star power that they have, but they remind me, they play like the Pistons of the 2000s, to where like they're just going to try to beat you with defense. But then they have the benefit of having an elite point guard like Jalen Brunson, who can score the basketball at will.
Mm-hmm. Unbiasedly, his rise to where he's at now has been really fun to watch. Really fun.
Hey, listen, Luka agendas are very much being pushed right now.
Yeah. All right, so now we have I guess I could say long awaited because the first comment in this stream, whenever we booted it up, was about the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the long awaited Oklahoma City Thunder. For me, I feel differently about them in the playoffs than I do in the regular season. Now, I could be wrong, but I think that when the playoffs roll around, they're going to win their first round series for sure. I don't really think it's going to matter who it's up against, unless it's one certain team, which would be the Mavs, if they don't go any higher and they stay as the 8 seed. But I don't know. I think they're a great team. I just think they're a year out from actually being a true contender. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but that's where I'm at on them. But I think
Now
they're a
let's
great
say
team.
they now let's say they play the Lakers in the first round.
They're going to win. They're winning that series. Love Bron. I think he'll play great. They're going to win that series.
Yeah, I'd agree. They're definitely in the 8 tier. I think that they're honestly, I think on playoff time, I think they're the third best team in the West. I think I trust Minnesota a little more. They got a little more experience in the playoffs. But honestly, who knows? Sometimes young teams go on runs because they don't know any better. They're not afraid of the moment. So the most dangerous teams are teams that have nothing to lose, and they're so far ahead of where they previously were, even a year ago. That I mean, they didn't even make it out of the play-in. So they're in a way they're kind of playing with house money right now. But I don't know. Honestly, the inexperience is going to come back to bite them against either Denver or even Minnesota. You
That's what I'm
just
thinking.
it's hard to like it's hard to prepare for experience, if that makes any sense. Like you could have such like they have such a talented roster,
Yeah.
but
You
honestly
can't teach experience. Yeah.
you can't teach experience.
So,
Yeah, but hey, shout out to Shea, even though his fans are pretty nasty.
not
Uh,
kidding. I mean,
Chet, hey, Chet's been holding it down. I kind of want to see how Chet plays in big games because he kind of last time Chet was in a big game, he kind of pooped himself in the NCAA tournament.
sure. What college did he go to?
Gonzaga.
Chet.
Yeah,
Chet. I thought you said Shay.
Chet. Yeah,
Sure. No, I would have him 82. I think they're right there with the Clippers in terms of right now, but I do have that. And it's not even like a analytical thing or like a, pure like, I know more than you thing. It's just like I just have a hunch that they're not gonna make it past the second round this year, and then next year they're gonna possibly play in the finals. That's my prediction. But
and that's fine if they don't make it out of the second round this year. Just don't make it a habit like Philly.
yeah, true. Sure. Where would you have Micey?
I'll have them A tier. Always. But they're a good team. They don't really have anything bad to talk about. It's just really an experience thing. We're gonna see how they're gonna play under pressure, especially with whoever they play against in the first round matchup.
Let's go 3-peat.
Yeah, that's all I really got to say about them.
Yeah, I think they're a good team. I just think that they're 1 year removed from truly competing. I think once they get some vets on that bench, I know they got Gordon Hayward. As much as however you feel
Gordon
about Gordon
Hayward.
Hayward, but
Gordon Hayward in the big 2024.
I don't know if you're exactly going to Gordon Hayward for the playoff experience that you're looking for, but
No, if they bow out in the second round, and I'm a Thunder fan, I'm pissed off at Hinkie because he's pulling a Danny Ainge right now with hoarding that many picks. Like you're telling me and I know Chicago didn't want to give him up, but you're telling me you couldn't have thrown two first round picks for like Alex Caruso because you've got 20 other picks.
I feel like 2 first-round picks could have got you Caruso and Drummond, honestly.
Yeah, and they need more rebounding.
Yep. They need
Great.
that big presence off the bench.
Damn, bro is too busy thinking about sixth graders coming off the bus.
Jesus.
Hoarding that 2030 first round pick.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Thought you meant something else. All right. We
Yeah,
have
Zach
the.
Nadella.
We thought you were talking about another player on their team. All right.
Oh, yeah.
We have the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic. Oh, okay. The Orlando Magic. So I'm gonna say B tier. I think they're a solid team. What are they right now? They're the 6th seed. I mean, they have a real chance right now, depending on the injuries to Brunson, Randall, and whether Embiid comes back or not. But they have a real chance to host the playoff series, which is shout out to them. Shout out to Paulo for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Turning that. Also, hey, shout out to I got some family down in Central Florida. Some of the only Magic fans I know of. But it's kind of like well, it's a little bit like Minnesota. You know, they haven't really had a good run of success in Orlando, but no, they would match up right now against the Cavaliers. Honestly, I like their team a lot from the standpoint to where I think they really do have some high end role players. Like honestly, Cole Anthony is one of my favorite role players. I think he can be sort of like a Bruce Brown was for the Nuggets for a championship contender. Like they just I mean Franz Wagner way better than Mo, obviously. I don't know. They just seem to be building like a nice nucleus of core pieces that I think that they'll be. I think within a year or two, I think they'll be definitely an Eastern Conference contender for sure.
I mean, I'm scrolling on their schedule right now, and since January 28th, I mean, it's just a lot of green. I mean, a lot of green. So,
And their schedule going forward, honestly, isn't that difficult.
I mean, we got the Hornets, Wizards, Knicks without Randall and Brunson, Pacers, Nets, Raptors, Hornets, Pels, Kings, Warriors, Clippers. Yeah, I mean, they actually have
honestly,
very favorable schedule.
they do up until the final 3 games, which are kind of brutal, honestly. But who knows? Yeah, no, they have. It's for now. I think that they're a first round exit. But hey, listen, they got a lot to look forward to. Yep. Definitely a very bright B tier. B for bright.
All right. So I said B. Are you saying middle B? I said middle B.
Yeah, middle B. Okay. Yeah.
What about you? I see you got middle B, or you got somewhere else?
Yeah, I got middle B too.
Respect. All right. So this one's also, we got 2, I guess, not weird ones, but well, weird in their own ways. Losing my voice. Weird in their own ways. So the first one being the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Icy, where would you put the Philadelphia 76ers? It's tough. It's tough because I don't know what they're gonna do with Embiid.
Is it tough?
Right now, they're a low. No, right now they're a high B tier team. With Embiid, they're a middle of a pack A tier team.
Are we giving them a playoff tax just because of their history, or are we just solely basing it off of this team in its own bubble?
I'm just basing it off of this team this year.
Okay.
The playoff history, I mean, I mean, it's their first year with a different head coach, so we're gonna see. But right now, like they still got to prove it to me. I still think now they could get by. I don't know. Right now, what Milwaukee is Milwaukee the third seed?
Milwaukee just moved up to the second seed.
Yeah. I know. They said on ESPN today that Cleveland has 80% chance of locking up the second seed. So I mean, it's really
80%.
about matchups. If they get Milwaukee in the second round, they're probably gonna lose. I don't see. I just don't see them winning that series. If they got the Celtics in the second round, I don't see them winning that series. Anybody else though? I feel like they can beat the Heat. This year's team can beat the Heat. Um, it's all about matchups, and then it's all about like what you're gonna get out of Embiid too if he when he comes back. Like Embiid should be good to go, all healthy, and if he plays like how he was playing before the injury, bro, like a fully rested Embiid could be scary and 100% healthy.
Mm.
So
I have so just right now as it sits, I have the Knicks and the 76ers right beside each other. And I was thinking about it, and I actually think that's not a bad comp for the situation that they're both in, because they're both of their best players are hurt right now. The Knicks, their best and second best player, are hurt right now. But I I don't know how Brunson's knee is. Have they said anything? I know they said he was questionable to return during the game, but
Wait, was it his knee? I thought it was his ankle.
oh, was it
I
his
thought
ankle? I
he,
thought it was his knee. Okay, never
yeah.
mind. If it's not his knee, then he'll be good. He'll be back. But it'll just all depend on if Embiid comes back. I am going to charge them with the playoff tax in the same breath as how we gave Miami Heat the benefit of the doubt and how they play in the playoffs. I'm going to do the same thing to the 76ers. So I'm going to have them low A, but like they're in the same breath as, say, the Lakers. Like if they turn it on and play to their potential, they have all the potential in the world, to use potential as many times as I can, um, that they can honestly, I mean, with it, you have the reigning MVP. It's your best player. Sky's the limit. If you all play to your top potential, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So, Mac, where would you have?
Oh man, I don't know. For me, this is pretty easy. I don't know. Maybe it's just because like I kind of I know this team very well, just because Philly's my second home, basically. Uh, no, I think that they're easily a B tier team. I think with or without Joel.
Hmm.
By the way, Joel should be shut down for the season. Because if you try to rush him back, honestly, Joel's never been healthy, but if you rush him back from a torn meniscus, not only do you risk losing whatever future you have, I mean, you're affecting your bottom line too because Joel's the main attraction. Like if he re-injures his meniscus or if he does something worse, like tear an ACL, like you're hey, I'll say this: the city of Philadelphia really cares about the Eagles and Flyers, and then for the Phillies and the Sixers, it's all about how good they are. And if the Sixers are bad, not necessarily like the process days, like if they're just like some middling team, like just floating around, like people just aren't going to show up.
Hmm.
I don't know. Maxi is a very good two, and Tobias Harris is a good. He's a pretty good third option. Sometimes he disappears.
Hmm.
I but I don't know. I just don't think that they don't really scare anybody. I don't think that they were necessarily all that scary with Embiid. Uh, and now with just basically Tyrese Maxey trying to carry the offense with sometimes Tobias Harris helping out. Like they're to me they're just a B tier team. Like they could take somebody to 6 games in the first round, but I don't think that they're going to win a series. I think they're pretty tame.
Yeah, because right now they play the Knicks right now. So yeah, I mean I could. Yeah, if they have to play the Knicks and Embiid's playing on a bad knee, you may be right.
Yeah, I
That
don't know.
may make it out
That's
first.
the thing though. I don't know how necessarily they view like the Embiid situation, but honestly, they should have shut him down yesterday because
Oh
hey,
yeah,
credit to Joel, he's
to
gonna
all the
want to
people in here,
play,
if you could
but
like and
you
subscribe to the
gotta
stream
take care of the
or the
franchise.
channel, that would be
Like
awesome.
you're treading on
Thank you.
very dangerous territory with a player who didn't even get consistent minutes until his fourth year due to injuries.
Yep. All right, we're on the last stretch of teams. A lot of these teams are going to be pretty easy to rank because they're not really that good. But for the other weird team that I was talking about, it's the Phoenix Suns. A team that has on paper all the potential in the world, but on the court, I don't know. It's not. I mean, the West is a tight race, and it will be for the foreseeable future with the star power that's in that conference. But they're just a weird team. I don't know.
They're an A-tier team.
Yeah.
The problem with the Suns is when they get a league, they don't know how to maintain it. They can turn it up offensively and defensively at times, and they can have runs where not really crazy, but they can get up 20 on your team, anybody's team. It's just like they just gotta learn like how to maintain it and like keep it going. Like tonight, they was up by like against Oklahoma. They was up like the league was about to go up to 10, and then they just looked like they just like okay, like we up by 10. Go ahead and surrender the game to us. Like no, like that's not how it works. You're gonna have to keep playing. There's 4 minutes left in the ball game.
Yeah, I agree. I've only watched a couple Suns games, but I know that their bench was definitely a question mark coming into the season. And I couldn't tell you the stats off my top of my head, but I would imagine that that's probably still an issue. So I don't know what free agents are out there that they can get. I mean, you can still get, yeah, you can still sign free agents. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, buyout market it hasn't fully become a thing yet.
Yeah. I have them low. I have them at the bottom. Actually, I'll put them above the 76ers. I'll do that. I have them right beside the Knicks, low A. But I agree, and they're in the same breath as the Lakers, right? If they play out of their mind, if KD and D-Book turn it on when they need to, they can, I'll say, win a championship. Well, I'll say go to the championship. I think the Celtics are still going to win, but what you got, Mac? Where would you put the Suns?
but going off on the whole. Hey, listen. The last time Jason Tatum played Kevin Wayne in a playoff setting, it was not a good night for Mr. Wayne.
What happened?
There might some brooms might have been involved. I don't know. But honestly, to me, they're a B tier team. Like they are a classic paper tiger. Like they got the flashy names. Like they got Durant, D-Book, and I guess you could throw Bradley Beal in there. That's a name. But they just don't have they don't have they don't have any defense that would scare somebody. I mean, they were giving bowl minutes in the Big 2024.
Yeah.
Like they are extremely top heavy, almost like the Bucks, but I don't know. I feel like they just don't intimidate any of the top contenders in the West because they so clearly have those other teams so clearly have less holes. I don't know, I just feel like the Suns are gonna bow out depending on who they play. I think that might be a first round exit.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, right now they would match up with the Clippers if they wanted
Oh
to
yeah,
play in, which I would assume they probably will. So, well, they play the Lakers in the play-in right now. That'd be
Oh, that's right.
That'd
They're
be a good
that's right.
matchup.
They're a playing team.
They're a playing team right now.
Yeah,
But well, they have more
9 games
wins than
ago.
they have. I mean, I don't care about the percentage. They have a better record than the Kings right now. It's just percentage wise, the Kings are ahead of them.
Yeah.
I see them finishing ahead of the Kings in the playoffs or in the rankings at the end of the year. But we'll see if they end up being a play-in team and they have to play. Dude, that's a crazy play-in. You could the Western
Yeah.
Conference play-in is as it stands right now. The Suns play the Lakers, and then the Mavericks play the Warriors. That's crazy. That's cinematic.
Yeah, that's must see TV.
Dude, you have KD, D Book, Steph, Bron, AD, Luca, and Kyrie all in the play-in.
Yeah, could you imagine the narratives if Dallas plays Phoenix in the play-in with Luca and Booker, and then you got KD and Kyrie?
Oh yeah, the Suns would play the Mavericks first round of the play-in, right?
Yeah, they would.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it
7
works.
versus 8.
Yeah. I was wrong. The Suns would play the Mavericks, and then the Warriors would play the Lakers. Then we get another rematch of Bron and Steph. I was wrong. I like it though. That would be a great. If that happens again, that'd be a great space on Twitter. Great space. After the game, I'll be in the losing team space for sure. Me and Icy join those things sometimes. The Lakers spaces and then the Warriors spaces whenever they lose to the Lakers. All right, Icy, you gave your piece on the Suns, right?
On who?
The
The
Suns.
Yeah.
Suns.
Okay, I can remember. All right. Now we have a couple easy ones, I'd say. Actually, I think all of these are pretty easy. First up, Portland Trailblazers.
D tier.
D tier.
I'm gonna say D tier. Did we say F?
Nah, D tier.
Oh, yeah, D tier.
Oh no, I'm just throwing.
Oh yeah,
questions
yeah.
out.
We said for the Pistons, but that's it.
Yeah, no, I'm just throwing questions out. Like, would we say F? Well, they're not even the worst team in the West.
Yeah, they're not even the worst team in the West.
Yeah, I'll say D tier. All right, the Sacramento Kings. This is definitely the last one that we're gonna have a lot to say about, or at least something to say about. They're the 6th seed right now, 34-25. Probably going to end up being a play-in team. They're another one of those weird ones to rank because it's like, I think that, last year they had all the potential in the world, right? I mean,
They shocked everybody.
Yeah, they were really close to making, I wouldn't say a deep run, but they were close to,
making a run of any kind.
Yeah. Thank you for saying what I was trying to say. Yeah, I don't think that. I think they're B. I'd say. I think they're around the same place as the Pacers. I think that's where I'm going to put them, but I don't know how y'all feel.
Honestly, they're B tier. I'd have them above the Suns, honestly, because they have more depth. Oh my goodness. I can't believe. Well, actually, it makes sense because it's Sacramento. I mean, I think De'Aaron Fox deserves more respect. Domantas Sabonis deserves a hell of a lot more respect. I mean, the man is leading the league in triple doubles. He's completely changed the way that the Sacramento Kings are perceived. Like, they remember, like, not even long ago, like, when people used to say who was like the worst team, everybody used to say Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the biggest win-win trades in NBA history. That Halliburton for Sabonis. I don't know. I think that I think that they deserve to be higher than the Suns. I'll put them in B2.
I like it.
They are a mid B tier team. They think they took a step back. The expectations were them to really like blow up this year. Um, I think they might be able to. Let's just say if they see the Timberwolves or the, let's throw in Oklahoma.
To
I
anybody in the
think
chat,
they'll be able to
where would y'all
take
put the
both
Kings?
series to game sevens.
I need to.
And we're just going to see who wins that game.
Because I don't know.
But I can't really say like there's a definitive answer to where I see this team going to play out to be. But I mean, Sabonis, he's probably going to be all NBA. He's going to be on an all NBA team. Fox, I don't think this year. I still think he's dangerous once like 2 minutes hit the clock. Him and like Dame, like, well, not even Dame hits the most clutch shots, but Fox becomes the most clutch player.
It's him. I think it's him and Shea this year for
him and Shea.
like clutch points.
Yeah, I think Shea is number one.
Shea's number one this year.
Yeah, I can't remember who the other person was that's like right beside Shea, but there was an argument in the Big 12 chat. I think about it, but yeah.
Yeah, go figure. When is there not an argument in that chat?
Shocker! Shout out Big 12 chat though, but
yeah,
I agree. I have them in the B tier. I did have them low B, but y'all both have them middle and closer to high B. So I'm gonna have them in the middle B. Right, I put them right beside the Cavs. I think they're I think they have a better chance of winning in the first round than the Cavs do. So I'm gonna put them above the Cavs. All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It all depends on matchup, honestly.
Yeah, that's why it's so hard to do a ranking like this whenever you don't know the playoff matchups. Just because, I mean, anything can happen, and obviously all of these can fluctuate depending on injuries and playoff matchups. How, what team gets hot at the end of the season, what team is not hot at the end of the season. So it all has a lot of factors. But now we have the San Antonio Wimbies.
D tier for the simple fact of Wemby.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them
Wemby's a god.
The Wemby praise. Honestly, I think as it stands right now, they're probably better than the Trailblazers.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They have their top three would. Well, Wemby obviously be the Trailblazers' best player. Honestly, Devin Vassell would have a case for being the Trailblazers' best player. And then, who else am I thinking about? Who's their other guard? Their other guard
Simons.
is.
Or you mean Spurs?
For the Spurs.
Oh, it's Vassell. Oh God, what's his name? I see him right now.
It's Vassell and
Soane.
it's no, not so. It's and Keldon Johnson's good.
Yeah,
Keldon Johnson could arguably be arguably their best player.
I see you. You got D tier too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then we got the Raptors. I'll say C tier.
C tier.
Yeah.
C tier.
Yeah. I'll say.
Hey, listen. Hey, shout out to Scotty, man, representing.
Oh yeah. And not gonna mention the account name at all, but don't mess with Scotty. All right. Anyways.
Yeah.
If you're on Twitter, you may know what we're talking about.
Yeah. Toronto fans are insane.
Oh, shout out to the Six, man.
Yeah,
much love from Atlanta. Much love. Love Scotty. All right. Don't dox me. Okay. Now we have the Utah Jazz.
C tier.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I was thinking the high D to low end C.
What are they? What's their ranking? They are the 11th seed.
Yeah. They're the 11th seed by a good bit.
Yeah, I mean, if they were in the East, they'd be the 10th seed right now, so they'd be in the play-in. So I agree. Honestly, I think they're better than the Hawks. I think both of these teams are better than the Hawks. Well, the Raptors is 23 and 38. I don't actually know about them. Let me rearrange that. But yeah, I agree. Actually, I think they're better than the Bulls too. Yeah, I like where they're at right there. All right, I put them middle C, right above the Bulls, Hawks, and Raptors. And the last team, the team
Best
you
for
don't
last.
want to be. Yeah, we saved them best for last. The team you don't want to be. And somehow that has turned into not the Detroit Pistons. The Washington Wizards. No
God,
courtside
no,
baddies.
no, nope. Not too many of those
No,
coming around these days.
no,
Man,
not at
honestly,
all.
like, well, they're F tier, but just to go on a little bit of a tangent, uh, so not to necessarily, dox or anything. I don't know, be living around the DMV for a while, uh, like it's pretty honestly, it's kind of getting sad at this point how like irrelevant the Wizards are and have always been. Like they're the most irrelevant franchise in NBA history. I don't think a lot of people know that they actually won a championship at some point.
Yeah, no. There's a Matt in the college football group chat that I'm in. Matt, I believe it's Casa or Casa. He's a Wizards fan, and he'll always be like, "Oh, don't maybe bring up our championship." he'll
Yeah.
always say something about it. But I mean, I respect. I did the same thing with the Hawks, and they didn't even win it in Atlanta, so I respect it. Shout out Matt. But yeah, I'm moving the Wizards below the Pistons, simply for the fact of Kyle Kuzma's comments. So
Should there be a hell tier and just put the Wizards there?
I mean, you know what? Let me add a row below.
Yeah,
Add a row below. Dump.
It-
Stir. Fire.
put the Wizards in the if a tree falls in the forest but no one's around to hear it. Does it make a sound?
Put them in the troll tier. Because I don't have enough characters to put
Yeah.
the tree.
Also, for people that don't know, the Wizards haven't won 50 games since the late 70s.
Dang. That's crazy.
Yeah, their peak season was John Wall, Bradley Beal in like 2017 when they won 49 games.
That's crazy. All right.
But yeah, like so 50 games is like the equivalent of winning 10 games in the NFL.
Hmm.
So like imagine if a team for like almost 40 years never won more than 9 games in a season.
Dang. So, well, Icy, do you have any? Do you disagree with where the Wizards are in the troll tier that I just created?
Yeah, they definitely trolling.
For sure.
It's low key should be not even the trolling tier, it's money laundering. Because there's no way people got that job for that long. I mean, just look at their draft picks. I think, outside of Johnny Davis, the other kid they picked from Boston College, I want to say, he's out of the league. I want to say, or at least chilling in D League.
Yeah.
He got traded to the Clippers, and then the Clippers they put him in the D League, and I don't even know where he's at. It's just like they had so many. I mean, like me and Mac, like Mac said it like perfect, bro. They're almost irrelevant. Just growing up in the area, bro, it's kind of disheartening almost because it's like most of the teams kind of like the rest. The Commanders didn't really have like they had it for a little while, talent like evaluating, but it's like with the Wizards, it's like, damn, bro.
Dude,
Like you've been in the lottery for all this time, and like there's like you just whiffed on so many picks. Just whiffed on them.
Yeah, it's honestly it's pretty sad because like when they were decent when they were winning between 45 to 49 games, like people actually got into it, which is pretty impressive. But no, but like everyone around here, myself included, roots for another team. Like there's there's no sense of pride, honestly, when it comes to basketball, at least around here, just because the Wizards are such a horrible organization.
I mean, I can't blame
I
them.
mean, the only reason why they had any popularity was because Michael Jordan decided to randomly come out of retirement again.
Well, I mean, you can't. Let's not disrespect the hibachi years. Um, the terrible threesome. That was a nasty. That was a very nasty time. John Wall, John Wall and Bradley Beal was a little bit of a breath of fresh air. It was playoff teams, even though they didn't hit 50 wins. I mean, they were still exciting for the city. But
I ain't got back.
They
outside of
yeah,
that, bro,
Gilbert years, but they always got first rounded by LeBron.
oh yeah, and it's funny how that was a rivalry, even though it was still kind of was. But
Allegedly, it basically was the equivalent of like the rappers that they brought on the court. It was Jay-Z versus Soulja Boy.
Hey, Soulja
Yeah.
Boy did it first, so.
it was something. It was something to laugh at.
But
But yeah, we should low key like one episode just talk about poverty teams and just like don't like trying to figure out like why haven't they just changed?
Yeah, hey, that sounds like a great podcast idea.
like any
Yeah.
team from like the middle of C down.
But yeah,
Yeah, I agree. Like
All
the
right,
bottom
yeah, I
half of the
think
league.
that pretty much wraps it up.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all see the list right now, but to anyone in the chat, if you don't comment it on the live, you can put it in the comments after the video is posted.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I ain't got nothing else to say.
How long have I been muted?
Yeah, I was wondering where you were.
Okay, well they can still hear me on the stream, thankfully.
Okay.
I've been yapping. I didn't know if y'all could hear me or not. I've been cracking jokes. That kind of sucks that y'all could hear me, but thank God it doesn't work like that for the stream. Okay. That makes a lot more sense as to why nobody responded to anything I said.
Yeah, I was confused because there was so much.
Did y'all not even hear me say the Wizards or anything? Or
Oh no, we heard you.
okay.
Say the word.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. No, but that'll wrap it up. To anyone still in the stream, comment either right now what you would change if you think we got something horribly wrong. We've had people do that before, of course. We're not perfect, but if you're not able to comment it right now, say it in the comments, and then I'll respond, or one of us will respond to whatever you got to say, however you feel about any of these teams. But yeah, that'll wrap it up. Thank y'all for coming out. To all the people who did, we had 25 viewers right now. I think we had at peak it was like 5 or 6. So
Nice.
shout out for real. Thank y'all. We finally got to
Absolutely.
40 subscribers. I don't know how many likes we got on the stream. I think we got 3 right now. So if you're still here, please like the stream. Please. 3-peat. See you, brother.
It helps out a lot.
Yes. But thank y'all. Thank y'all for real. And we will see y'all next time. When is next time? We have no idea yet, but we'll tweet it out on both the Cheap Seats account and all of our accounts. All of our Twitter accounts are in the bio, so please go follow us. We will follow back. And yeah, we'll catch y'all next time.
See ya.
Peace.
Hasta la vista.